Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Waffling on Wednesday. Waffle, waffle, waffle. Okay, Pete, what are you going to waffle on about today? Well, excitingly, I've got a new project that I want to tell you all about, and what I want to speak about is following your own advice. I can't stand it when people say, do as I say and not as I do, because to me they've just lost all credibility, right? So what I want to do is show you this new project I've got, which is a big leg vise. Now, I've spoken about this leg vise before, but you've never seen it. So way back in about 6 months ago, I made a video about the top 5 things that I look for when I'm buying a leg vise. Now, I fixed up my leg vise and put it in the smithy, and that's all going now. Jack the Gripper, my little mate out there that I put on that workbench. But in secret, I've had another leg vise in the corner of my workshop sitting there waiting for a special project. That special project was going to be, I was going to make this leg vise, refurbish it, get it all going, to become one of those things that Alex still refers to as a striking vise. I've never struck a vise with a sledgehammer in my life, and I'm probably never ever going to. But that's what he does. He keeps it down really low, chops the leg off, puts it low on a big steel stand or something like that for grinding with a big grinder and all that kind of stuff. And that's what I was going to do with this vise. I'm taking a slightly different direction now with what I'm going to be doing with the blacksmithing. So this big leg vise is just sitting in the corner doing nothing, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to refurbish it, and then I'm going to sell it to somebody because I'm not going to need it anymore. Okay, so getting back to the first part of this waffle, following my own advice, right? When I first saw this vise, it was in a scrap metal yard. It was in the part where they keep all the bits of machinery they think they can sell rather than just throwing it in with all the other metal. I was mooching around and having a look, and I saw it, and I couldn't believe it straight away. It's an 8-inch leg vise. It's huge. And it wasn't even all complete. It was all tied up with a piece of wire so the parts wouldn't go missing. So I went over and had a look. It's an 8-incher. It's a real big one. So my first thing, I looked all over it, and my first bit of advice at number 5 was, is it all original, right? So I looked at it all, I saw all the parts, and I thought, yep, they're all the parts that are supposed to be there. And then I went straight to number 4, which was, are there any parts missing? So I had a quick look, and I could see there were some parts missing, but those parts are easily enough for me to forge. So I didn't take it out of my consideration straight away. I kept looking to see whether the jaw alignment would be right. I couldn't tell that at the time because the 2 legs weren't connected. They were just wired together. I saw that the handle was not bent. That was a good indicator. So before the salesman come over and we started haggling, I unwound the handle and had a look at the screws on the screw box and on the screw itself. And they seemed to be in pretty good condition. That was it. My heart was thumping like a jackrabbit. I couldn't get my wallet out of my pocket quick enough, caught over the salesman. And so we started haggling over the price and everything. And we came to a fair price, put it all on the back of the vehicle and took it all home with me. One of the first things I did when I got it home was I got a big bolt, a big 1-inch bolt, put it in and checked the jaw alignment to make sure that they lined up okay. They did, because I could see from the outside leg, the hole in that part wasn't rounded out. So I knew that those jaws would line up pretty good. So what I want to do now, when I take you outside, I've laid all the parts out on the back of my vehicle so you can have a good look at them. The only other thing, apart from the things that I have to forge, which is a set of opposing wedges, a new spring, and a bolt to go through the bottom, because they're the 3 parts that are missing, easy enough to make. When I was rummaging around in my pile, I found this bolt in my pile of crap. Now, this bolt is very, very slightly too big to go through the hole. That's great, because it means I can grind it down, and this thread's not much good anyway. And this looks like a handmade bolt, actually, when I was looking at it. It could even be wrought iron, don't know. But to me, it suits the era of that vise rather than trying to put a modern one in there or going to the extra forging of making my own bolt, which is what I was going to do until I found this. So what I'm going to do now, clean this bolt up. I've got a little bit of wrought iron, very precious commodity where I'm living. So I'm going to use a little bit of that wrought iron to make a nut to go on there. Now, I don't have taps and all that kind of thing to redo this thread or to make a thread in the nut. I'll get someone to do that for me, but that's okay. That's the only part I can't do myself. So following my own advice, I'm going to refurbish this fantastic vise. Now I'm going to put it on Gumtree and see if I can sell it. Hey, money, 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 show me the money. So what we do now, we're going to duck outside and have a look. I'm going to show you all over those parts that I've got, and then back in here to close off. Let's go outside and have a look. we've got big sharks in Australia, but that's the kind of jaws I like to see. 8-inch jaws, yeah. Dun-um, 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 dun-um. Ah! All right, here it is, folks. Look at that piece of wrought iron fantasticness. That's the two legs there. Missing their spring, but that's all right. We can make a spring. I've done that before. There is the locking collar and the attachment plate. That's missing its opposing wedges. No problemo. I can easily make a set of them. There's the screw box. There's the thrust washer, all original. There's the handle, straight as a die. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. And there's the screws on the screw itself that are in pretty good condition. There's a tiny bit of wear there, but they are in really good nick. That's excellent. Woo! So there you go. This is my new project. I'm going to fix all of that, and then I'm going to sell it. Absolutely fantastic. So ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That was a look over the vice on the back of the vehicle there. I've got to say I'm incredibly excited to get out in the smithy and get forging on all the parts required to get that vice back into service so I can sell it to somebody and they can have it in their smithy and hopefully be forging with it for many, many years to come. So that's the end of this Waffle on Wednesday. Waffle, 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 waffle. So until the next video comes along, thanks very much for watching this one. I'll see you later.